What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back. Today we are talking a little bit about bad bosses, about bad management. If you guys have ever worked anywhere, I'm sure at least once you would have gotten unlucky. You would have gotten a little unlucky. You would have maybe experienced what I consider to be poor management. And my God, do I need a rant about it? I've been working for a large portion of my life. Ever since I was about 13, I've been working and dealing with terrible management, terrible planning, and it honestly, to this day, baffles me that some companies are even afloat in this. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me with how people run their businesses sometimes, and it's tragic. So, what do I mean by this? Well, there is a degree of poor management that I see quite often in my life and that I have seen quite often in my life. And it's this concept of planning, right? A lot of businesses have essentially a plan that they need to apply to their work in order to get through an entire fiscal year where they can perform at a good level, meet their clients and customers' expectations. A good example of this is I'm in the warehousing and logistics industry. I've always been in the warehousing and logistics industry. And a big part of that is making sure that the client, whoever you're storing goods for and sending away goods for, is getting their goods on time, undamaged, and everything is organized in the warehouse in a manner that is sufficient in both quality of care, but also efficiency of use and making sure that the work as a whole is just able to get done and you're staying on top of it, right? And so in this example, management would usually, if they were good management, have a genuine plan of, okay, well, we've got this client and this client and this client wanting this much stuff and they're delivering to us this much stuff. Okay, we need this many people working at this time to keep up, put it all into the warehouse, bring it all in off the trucks. Then we need, and look at the numbers and go, we need this many drivers for these orders that are going to be getting sent out. So we need to bring in this many people. We need to have this much equipment. And they'll plan ahead. They'll look at all of the numbers and they will see where those bad moments are going to be, where it's very busy, where the lulls in the busyness are going to be. They'll plan out where people need to go in order to accommodate for the workloads. And more importantly, they will also be planning months and months ahead so that way they know when busy periods are coming up, for example, Christmas, Easter, Australia Day, whatever it is, right? And they will go, okay, these are days where big expenditure happens. In that case, let's get a new person, a new casual into the business, and we'll do whatever we need to do in order to get the job done using however many casuals we need. That's good management. Bad management, and the one that I see often, is where they will have a bad experience. For example, Easter's coming up. Easter holidays are here. It is going to be a mad dash before the Easter holidays. They have not planned for it in the slightest. The customer is delivering them way more things than they normally do and asking for way more things to be sent out than they normally do. The workload is heavy, and they go down to their staff and they say, we have absolutely no new staff. We have no new equipment. We have not planned for this in the slightest. So you're just going to have to put stuff wherever it can go for now. You're going to have to do 10, 12-hour days of overtime. You're going to have to put up with the stress and the extra work because it must be done. The end. Too bad, too sad. If you disagree, you can put up with it. And that's it. That is bad management, and that is so common. This concept of reactive day by day plans versus proactive good planning that is month by month or year by year or quarter by quarter. And that is something that is so incredibly common because it ends up being a matter of your staff are just getting angry, right? Like the staff are just getting livid at these bosses. They're getting mad at the supervisors because they're overworked, they're tired, they're exhausted, and 99% of the time they can't say anything or have a go at the bosses because the bosses want to hear none of it. Will fire them, or they will, do whatever in order to get back at them and overwork them and punish them even more. And it's just ridiculous because companies like that should not be able to stay afloat. I hate that that is a thing, that it happens all the time. And I don't know if anyone else experiences this or if it's maybe just the industry I'm in. I would love to know because it is incredibly consistent. And the other thing that I think is really frustrating when it comes to poor management is also nepotism. Nepotism is brutal, especially in some industries such as the one that I am in. It is way better to know someone than to know something. What do I mean by that? Well, the knowledge of the job and the experience in the job is nowhere near as important as the friends in that job space that you know, the connections that you have. Because those connections can get you a job and keep you a job. The knowledge and the experience will most likely not get you a job and not keep you a job because you'll never get an ad. The thing is, a lot of companies will just ask around and say, hey, do you have a friend that needs a job? Or the staff themselves that are at that job will say, hey, I have a friend that needs a job. Can you give him one? And that ad for that job will never actually go up to seek.com or whatever it is, that you guys use to find job applications. Or jobs to apply to, I should say. And so you end up in a situation where you could have like 10 years experience and you're probably not even going to get seen. You're probably never going to see that job because more and more friends are just going to get dragged in from other people. And then those friends will eventually get promoted to management or supervisors, and then they'll have friends on the floor or whatever, or in the staffing group that are not performing, but it's okay because their friend is the boss and they won't get fired and they won't get away with it. Shit like that happens all the time. So I can't express my anger towards that concept. I hate it with a passion. Regardless of that though, let me know what you guys think. Am I pretty much nailing the whole conversation about this, or do you think that overall there are places and businesses and whatnot that have other problems that aren't just these two? But I find nepotism and poor planning to be the main two for me. That just is the like perfect poor management example. But nevertheless, if you think that there is something else as an example, or you want to share your story about poor management down below, please do show me lots of love in the comments about it. I would love to hear it. I'll read all of them. I will respond to as many as I can. Leave a like if you liked, leave a dislike if you didn't. And more importantly, subscribe for more content. I've got daily uploads almost on all weekdays. And I also will be doing live streams absolutely every single day, even on the weekends. So if you want to come watch me just banter and shit talk while I play some War Thunder or whatever it is, please do come by, hang out, and have some fun. Much love to you all, and have a fantastic afternoon.